This video will contain spoilers for Season 2 of the cult series Dead Like Me. You can also watch my video essay for the first season of Dead Like Me, which I will link to in the description below. There's many reasons why I love the show Dead Like Me, and a big portion of it comes down to imperfection. Dead Like Me is, well, an imperfect show, but I think that strangely works to its advantage. The imperfections are on full display in Season 2. The show's creator, Brian Fuller, had left the series about halfway through the first season. But Season 2 is where noticeable changes to the series begin to arise. For example, the music played at the Waffle House, the German diner that our reaping protagonists meet to trade insults and get their post-it note assignments, has shifted away from the high-pitched infinite yodeling from the first season to more calm instrumental music in the second season.
Excuse me, can I borrow your salt, please?
Roxy's day job also changes from a meter maid in the first season to a policewoman in the second season. And Rube, the quarterback of our not-so-merry gang of Reapers, has his rough edges softened up a bit.
Something happened to you.
I don't know what you mean.
And if that wasn't enough, Dead Like Me was canceled in 2004 after just 2 seasons on the air.
That's the last goddamn straw.
This is fucking bullshit, that's what it is.
The high-concept comedy drama about Grim Reapers had, ironically, met its maker shortly after Season 2 concluded. To many fans, including me at the time, this all didn't seem very fair.
I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
But to those making the creative and corporate decisions, well, that's just the business of television. Now, on Dead Like Me, Georgia often does talk about the concept of fairness.
In a fair world, behaving like a complete asshole would make you really unpopular.
But really, Dead Like Me is a show about coming to grips with the fact that life is not fair. Maybe the universe doesn't necessarily weigh somebody's good deeds against their bad deeds. Maybe the universe does not reward good behavior or punish bad behavior. How, in your mind, do you reconcile randomness? Georgia last died and became a Grim Reaper due to unforeseen and unfair circumstances.
Aw, shit.
And ever since that day, she's struggled with the fact that life just isn't fair. Why did she have to die while others got to live? Why did randomness, a bad break at the wrong time, have to strike her?
I'm only 18. I haven't done anything. This isn't fair.
The concept of fairness eats away at the loved ones Georgia leaves behind as well. Joy and Reggie, Georgia's mother and sister respectively, are always at an impasse, and there is nothing that can fix it.
So, do you want to go shopping this afternoon?
What for?
A new sweater?
Yeah, that one's pretty tragic.
I meant for you, Reggie.
It all stems back to what Georgia said early in the first season, very shortly after she died.
It was like an alternate universe where I didn't exist. There were no goatees or gold lame sashes. Just a hole where I used to be. And everyone was making sure to step around it.
The hole that Joy and Reggie constantly step around is the elephant in the room that's really hurting their relationship.
You're always incredibly unhappy.
No, I'm not.
It's not easy, and death isn't fair, but I guess that's life.
If you got a package but you got no time, use Mercury and you'll be just fine. Mercury, whoosh.
The second season of Dead Like Me gets off to a bit of a rocky start. I actually hadn't rewatched the season since I originally saw it on Showtime back in 2004, so outside of a couple story beats that I did remember, most of the show felt very fresh. With that said, Rube, one of my favorite characters on the show, seemed to get a bit of a personality makeover. In an early scene where George bursts into Rube's home and demands an answer to whether he was the one that wrote her name down on a post-it note the day that she died, Rube surprisingly admits that he did.
Georgia, I wrote your name on that post-it. If I hadn't met you, I didn't know what a great kid you were. But if I had known you, I still would have written your name on the post-it.
Although the old Rube that we know and love did show up every now and then.
I need to know where you are. You are like an ER doctor, you understand that? And you're on call. You're on call 24/7.
365.
I don't need your smart mouth.
Sorry.
It felt like, in season 2, he became a little bit more soft-hearted.
Do you not like me anymore?
Well, not right this minute. You're a constipator, Peanut. You disturb my shit, and that's annoying.
I think you're marvelous.
I just think all that wanting is not so good at this point. And that's all I have to say about your promotion.
Well, as much as I've enjoyed this little powwow, I think I'm just going to do what I'm going to do.
Throughout this season, Rube is also on a secret quest to locate his daughter, named Rosie. But when Rube visits a local post office and finds out that letters he sent to his daughter in the 1920s, back when he was alive, never reached her, he embarks on a journey to not only learn why, but also find Rosie. It's a really unique pivot for the character, who had always been pretty process-oriented and emotionally detached.
Why is it so easy for you to accept everything the way it is? Why don't you ask questions?
Well, because I'm not that curious. If you don't get this right, someone's going to drop another toilet seat on your head, and that'll be loud.
But between this storyline and the strange fact that a young man actually recognizes Rube's face,
This guy looks just like you.
That's it? Souvenir.
even though the show explicitly stated in season 1 that Reapers look very different to those that are living.
Who decides what we look like?
I don't know. Maybe this is what our inner child looks like when it grows up.
Well, it just makes Rube's arc in season 2 interesting, but a bit messy. I also wasn't the biggest fan of the show's creators making Roxy a police officer.
What do you mean you're a cop?
I joined the police academy this afternoon.
Yeah, I don't think I care for that.
Roxy, who has a take-no-prisoners personality,
You know what your problem is? You wake up every morning wondering what the world's gonna do for you, wondering who's gonna bend over backwards, kiss your ass, and make you happy, when you should just thank God for another day and leave it the fuck at that.
was comedy gold in season 1 as the cantankerous meter maid who was always one last nerve away from going postal.
Let me tell you something. I am trying to do my job, which is definitely my day job. If you keep fucking with me, there are other skills I can employ that will give your life a turn for the strange and the painful.
But as a police officer? Well, from a comedic perspective, I think it's just inherently funnier to see an angry personality working inside a relatively impotent position of power, like that of a meter maid. But when that same angry personality now has all of the power, it's just not that funny anymore. Despite the show's flaws, things do pick up as the season moves along. Joy tries to move on with her life after her husband moves out of the house. She even meets a new man who ignites a flame of excitement in her life, much to the chagrin of Clancy.
Clancy?
Marvin Gaye.
But sadly, that flame doesn't stay lit very long.
I think I should probably go.
We also meet Joy's mother, and we learn where Joy gets her not-so-cheery disposition from.
You can't be here.
The thing is, Joy, I am here. I should have been here before, but I was respecting your wishes. So at the end of the day, what has that accomplished?
You not being here.
Joy has a problem with her mother's parenting, and remains especially upset at being abandoned by her in the past.
That's not fair.
You are so fucking selfish. Hey, time. Who needs time, right? I'm a free spirit. I am way beyond time.
It's a rare peek inside the last family tree, and it helps paint a clearer picture why, beyond just George's death, Joy's relationship with Reggie is so strained.
You know, you're not the only one who's lost George. The whole world has lost a soul.
She was my daughter. Mine. She was me, Mom.
The same way that you are me.
Mason continues to be the amusing screw-up. And while his feelings for Daisy grow stronger every day, it gets complicated when a new man enters Daisy's life. Ray Summers, played by Eric McCormack.
I find your friend Daisy painfully attractive.
Take a number.
How do you know her?
That's none of your fucking business.
Ray's entry into the show adds some much-needed spice halfway through the season, as it stalls Mason and Daisy's potential situationship.
You're so beautiful. And I love you. I just don't like you anymore.
And leads the show down a bit of a darker path.
Fuck you, Ray.
Georgia finds herself in a bit of a complicated relationship too. She's finally found a guy she likes, and one that likes her back. The problem is, he not only has no clue Georgia is a Reaper, but George met him on an assignment to reap his father. How ironic is it that in death, Georgia finally experiences the flickering flames of love and sex and crushing heartbreak?
Yeah, it was fun.
How's that for fairness? And then there's Dolores, the ever-chipper boss at Happy Time. Dolores continues to be the most sincere character on the show.
Can't send you out into the world with schmutz all over your face.
Always ready to offer life advice to George, better known as Millie at Happy Time, and allow her to take endless days off for whatever lame excuse Georgia thinks up on the spot.
I have to leave early today.
Another doctor's appointment?
No.
An AA meeting?
No.
What then?
A rock concert.
But Dolores will steal a scene in a heartbeat, and thankfully, that continues in season 2.
There's cheese on these. Who has been making grilled cheese sandwiches with the defibrillator paddles? Congratulations, Happy Time. You just killed a man.
One of the things I particularly liked in season 2 was that it answered a question I had all throughout my rewatch. On Dead Like Me, the Grim Reapers seem to only reap people who die in wild, over-the-top accidents. It's like George and company are on hazardous duty, but without the risk of personal injury, or the prospect of a fat payout.
That's really fucking unfair.
But what about all of the everyday people that simply die of old age?
Natural causes is one of the nicer assignments for a Reaper, especially in a hospital. No chasing anyone down, everyone's got a name tag. Nice gig.
Well, this is actually addressed in the episode Forget Me Not, when George visits the senior wing of a hospital. She's there to reap a senior citizen's soul who has lost her mental faculties. But once she passes, the soul of this woman doesn't understand the fact that she's dead.
This is the lady who comes in and brushes my hair.
Yes, that is your daughter, Beth. And you're dead.
So it's up to George, Mason, and Daisy to try and jog her memory vaudeville style, pulling out every trick in the charades playbook to help drive home the message.
Hello, Bear.
Your husband, William. Your daughter, Beth.
It's a really sweet and memorable scene, and really gets to the heart of what made Dead Like Me such a unique show.
I'm dead.
That's right.
Yes, that's right. That's all right.
One of the best episodes of the entire series of Dead Like Me is the Season 2 finale. The entire episode takes place during Halloween, and the show is able to add to the Grim Reaper lore the series has already established. Rube suggests that all Reapers wear a mask on Halloween when they go out and do their reaps.
I know I'm the youngest one here, but I don't trick or treat.
No, Reaper legend. The dead will appear as themselves on Halloween.
So in theory, I can be
recognized.
The concept of fairness, once again, comes knocking here, quite literally. Because on this day, a serial killer is going house to house killing people, and some of the people that die are the ones Rube and the gang must reap. Rube's post-it note has the name of a teenage girl with a whole lot of attitude.
You're a little taller than the other trick-or-treaters. Candy bar, fruit roll-up.
How about a moment of your time?
Daisy reaps a middle-aged woman who offers her Halloween treats.
I adore Halloween. And I will continue to create elegant decorations and healthy snacks until the day I die.
Good luck with that.
Roxy reaps a lonely, paranoid man.
Would you mind telling me your name, sir?
Les? Blinding.
Mason's assignment is a 10-year-old boy left home alone.
Thanks.
Hey, come here. Happy Halloween.
And George reaps the serial killer himself.
It's done. It's all over.
Later, we see Joy and Reggie sitting at the grave of Georgia. George's death has been the major cause of their ongoing rift.
You didn't even go trick-or-treating this year. That makes me sad.
I'm done with it.
Is it because George always used to take you trick-or-treating?
And ignored me.
Throughout this series, George has always kept tabs on her mother and sister, and this final episode is no exception. As Georgia walks away, Reggie wakes up, and George slowly turns around. The two sisters exchange no words, just a small smile of recognition. Nobody knows better than Georgia that life isn't fair. She died at the age of 18 on her first day of work at an awful temp job. And even the afterlife isn't fair. There's no harps playing, there's no pearly gates, there's no angels on clouds, just disappointment. But I think Dead Like Me teaches us to find acceptance and hopefully happiness with our current life. That nothing is all good or all bad. That the past is the past, and that tomorrow is unknown. None of us know when life will end or if a Grim Reaper will guide us to the other side. But until then, we can use Dead Like Me as a reminder to enjoy our lives while we still can. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, put the words Georgia Forever in the comments section below. And if you like this video, please hit the like button down below as well. I always appreciate it when you do that. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it. And if you have any other ideas for interesting movies or television shows that you like and you'd like to see me cover here, drop me a line in the comments section as well. I do read the comments. So thank you very much for watching. I definitely appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.